It's our honor and pleasure to present Mr. Al Schmitt, 21 Grammy Awards, and Bill Gibson, our chapter trustee.
Yeah, what happened was I got a call from Jeff Porcaro saying that the guys got together and wanted me to do this record with them, Toto Boys, and I was on it, obviously. And so we went in the first day. We were at Sunset Sound, and this was the first tune. And everybody was in the room at the same time. They were all, including Lenny Castro on congas, so we've got the sounds and all, and David Page said, well, when is Al going to start getting sounds? And I said, we're all set, come on in and listen. So they came in and listened. I had recorded the first rundown that they did, and it sounded great. They were all thrilled with the way it sounded, went back out, and the next take was it. That was it, including the piano solo. It was amazing. And then right after that, we did Africa. And with Africa, Jeff Porcaro went out in the room and played drums for about maybe 2 minutes. Just got in his groove and played his groove, and then he came in, and we kept listening and listening, and he picked one bar, and we made a tape loop. We put a mic stand out and put the tape around it, and that was it. It's a 1-bar loop. Africa, if you listen carefully to it, you'll hear that's 1 bar over and over again. But that was the groove. They were fun to work with, and there was some crazy times because those were the days when everybody had gone really wild. And but it was a lot of fun, and it's very, really fond memories.
So is that everybody, including the engineer, was going crazy too?
No, I was the only one. I was the one that had the butterfly net to capture people. And
that's good, man. So did you overdub the vocals on this tune?
Yeah, I did a lot of the vocals. I did the horns. Greg Ladani mixed it, and I was in Europe and at the Montreux Jazz Festival, and I got in an automobile accident, and so I was in the hospital in Italy for a while, and then they flew my son and I back to Switzerland, and I was staying there for a while. So in the meantime, they had to get the record mixed, and so Greg Ladani was the guy that mixed the record and did a great job.
Yeah, it's an amazing story how you were tumbling down the
hill. Well, we came around, the guy was driving a car, and my son was in the back seat, and we had a day off in between recording, and he came around the turn. He was going pretty fast. We were in Aosta in Italy. It's in the Alps. He came around the corner, the car was stopped there, and he hit the brakes and turned, and we went rolling down the side of the mountain. So the driver got hurt much worse than I did, and they had to fly him off to Milan, where they had better hospitals. But they kept my son and I in the hospital there, and we were healthy. Should I tell them the story about the 200?
I think you should, yeah.
Years before, somebody gave me a 200-year-old bottle of cognac. Great. And I had the bottle, and I kept thinking, one of these days I'm going to, drink this. So as I'm rolling down the hill in Italy, I'm holding my son, who is, I think, 10, and I'm thinking, I'm never going to see my little guy, who is 3 years old, and I'm never going to taste that 200-year-old cognac. So what happened, I was still on crutches when I came home. When I got off the plane and came home, and when I got in the house, I called some friends up and I said, I'm going to open that bottle of cognac. Anybody wants to come over and try some is welcome. I had thought while I was going down, why was I saving that, Now I'm never going to get to taste it.
It's refreshing to hear that you thought of your son first, though.
Oh yeah, there's something. Absolutely.
Let's go back to Rosanna, and the vocals on that. You didn't use auto-tune, did you?
God forbid. God forbid. No.
Yeah, I don't know if auto-tune was out yet. So, how did you get them
did
so
it until it
perfect?
was right. You know, they kept, you know, and they were great. You know, they were. Bobby, who sang lead on a lot of that stuff, was amazing singer. So.
So, how long did it take you to do the lead vocal track on that?
On Rosanna itself, probably was done. Most of it done in a day.
Really?
Yeah, I'd say one day.
Did you comp it together then?
Yeah, there was
After it
some
was over?
comping done, but you know, we were no auto tune or anything.
Yeah. So, I guess we don't need it,
No.
and we don't need Beat Detective either.
Well, I just did a record with an artist where we did everything live, and all in the center of the room at Capitol, and with no earphones, everybody close around, and finish it when we were mixing. There was one thing at the end of a word that where he just went under a little bit, and I tuned it. And on the playback, he said, it went by, and he said, "What's that?" I said, "Well, you went a little under." He said, "Put it back." He made me put it back. He's going to leave it that way. He wanted it to be totally honest. So I try to stay away from tuning as much as possible. Fortunately, I get to work with great singers, and most of the time they don't need it.